Hello and welcome back to Cities Skyline with me, David. In the last episode we built this port and things weren't exactly running perfectly with everything. It was going alright. We sorted out the traffic, we got the cargo ships coming in and stuff and the trains coming through. So that was all good. Then we had a second port which wasn't really second half that wasn't really getting used as much as the other one at all. And then we had this one which wasn't being operated on. But now, as you can clearly see, ships are using this harbour, and we have that crush as everyone piles off into their cars. I think people need to learn how to drive. That's a bit of a mess. Anyway, as you can probably tell, not everything is quite hunky-dory, as in we have this line down here isn't as it should be. If I click on this, we haven't got the box, we just got floating writing and stuff. But it's a success. I've had to reload it a few times as we had an error with something. But it all appears now to be operating. So yeah, people pouring out here. That's good. What I have done is I've deleted the train line along here and added the connection in here. So we get the room along here. This little bit here is only going temporary, as we'll move on this episode and we'll put in the big train hub. But as these were getting busy, these trains, I replaced it with the commuter trains to have the 400 capacity, and then reduced it back down to 3 because these look amazing. I love the look of these trains. Look at that is just gorgeous. I love that. I think they're some of my favourite trains on here. So I did a bit of that, and I jiggled around a few other little bits and pieces. Put in a I don't know what's going on there. Stop that. Put in a fire and police house down there, and there's a few other little changes that I made, which I can't remember what they were now because we had an alignment issue. But we already seem to have it working again. So I'll probably try turning everything off and loading the game back up again to try and fix up down here. Oh yeah, I know what I did, some of the other stuff that I did. If I zoom in down here, I came through and used the intersection marking tool, so we now have lots of road markings so people can come around here. We've got a nice bit of filled in area over here. This is looking better over here. There's a nice filled up solids and white lines and stuff. Bit of curve down the centre, similarly over here. So yeah, lots of people can be using all of this. This is all very nice. Over here we've got plenty of vehicles using that. The only other thing that we need to do now is connect up this metro line, but as this is all going to go part of the big train hub that we're going to be putting in, we'll do that later. I mean that will just sort of come up underneath here too, and off it goes wherever it needs to go. So yeah, things are looking up. We had some cruise ships which now seem to have disappeared again. I want to hang around and see when the next lot start turning up. Okay, I had to reload the game. Didn't seem to be bringing any cruise ships in. But what's this coming in and out of the haze over here? I believe we have another cruise ship coming in. Let's do it. Oh, no, we just jumpy game. Yeah, that looks like a couple of cruisers coming in. There we go. Oh, there we go. We've got the 800 passenger one coming in. So that's going to cause absolute bedlam when it unloads everyone here. So what I have done to try and get this to work is I moved this across the well. I put a new harbour in. I wasn't sure if when I use the roundabout to replace this road with a one-way road, if that had messed it up at all. I don't know, but I put a new one in and that seems to have done it, and we now have a lot of people pouring in. It's going to be 400 people. Let's watch the chaos. Rubbing hands with glee. Look at that, good parking, nice power skid coming in there. Oh no, wait, your turn, green boat. There's not room for two of you there. Whoa. But this could be a disaster. Look at them all just piling out now. Boom. Yeah, look at them all fleeing the accident, crushing out there. There we go. Look at them all. Oh yes, look at that. Look at that. Yes, everyone just getting their cars out of their pockets. Bosh, 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 bosh. Yeah, we need to get this metro linked up, or a bus in here, to try and alleviate this carnage caused by everyone pouring out of here and straight into their cars. Oh god, that's a lot of people. Oh, they're all on top of each other. Yeah, look at what a mess that is. Oh, it's like when you see the pictures of people leaving the big festivals campsites all at once, and when they're stuck in the mud, it's all piled up. It's a bit muddy here, but man, that's a mess. Oh, there's more coming. Oh, look at them all. Just more and more. Yep. Oh, your caravan's stuck in the building. Oh, this is a disaster. Oh, yes. Look at them all. Well, I think that's everyone. Oh, the ships have left, and it's just now back to this chaos. Very nice. So I think what we do, we need to put a footbridge in over here so people can safely get over to this metro station, and we can connect that up to the big hub when we get started with that. But it seems to be working. We have everything back down here as we need it, so this is good. What we just don't need is this mania with people pouring off the ships. I did wait a long time, maybe because they're both coming from this direction. It takes a lot longer than I was expecting for the cruise ships to turn up. Anyway, there we go. So looking at our demands down here, what we need is more residential and a bit more commercial. And this junction here needs a bit more sorting out. It's getting better. But we're going to cause carnage again, because we're going to put in down here another big load of residential. Just box up all of this area down here. It'll be lovely.
So we're just doing a nice easy build, as we've always done through here. Just a nice grid going on, as I was saying, going all the way up. What makes it easy is I've turned off most of the snapping other than angle and length, so you get like the line at the 8 squares on, and it'll snap to 90 degrees nice and easy. Otherwise, at this point, there are so many road guideline marks from the train lines and other roads and everything else that it just gets difficult. So just jiggle everything around to get it to fit in. Then we use a bit and move it, because we've got the train lines having a very close core coming underneath here. So we use those and just lower it down. Nope, that's not what we wanted. That's it, just lower it down. And you can raise the bridge up a little bit. And we can give it enough room so the trains can safely pass through underneath. Much better. Okay, that's good. So we'll zone up. I'm actually going to put a new zone in here. I could have continued the Drew over this. Maybe I should have, but I'll put a new zone in on it. It's like really sort of a bit more of the nice high density stuff coming in. That's good. We'll just neaten up the water pipes, get all those services, and then it's just straight into zoning and then some services. So just a little bit of commercial and then a lot of residential. Just making sure they're all proper squares so that all the buildings form nice and neatly. So it's time for some services. We're quite well covered with healthcare. We're just dropping another crematorium up there, and then it's onto parks. I like these parks. They're a good size. They fit in, and it'll allow a nice little gap there to put the road through, so it just narrows down a bit. And then same again over here, and it fits so perfectly with the train line there. And a couple of other parks here, there and everywhere. Tidy up the water pipelines. And now we need a bit of education. So coming through here, it looks like we have alright coverage with high school. Elementary school I think needs a bit more. Right, we can pop one in at the top. There we go. And then just put a library in, which seems to fit nicely here. Perfect.
Okay. Anyway, this probably calls now for us getting our next area in. Well, our next tile in so we can start doing the big train hub. So yes, that's, well, let's think about how this metro line is getting out of here as well. I could just run them. So I like him having him parallel to these roads here. It would be nice actually a little bit closer so they're almost like they were touching. I think that looks good the whole way through there. Oh, I know what I have to do before we continue any further. We have underneath here a few disasters. Turn him around. There we go. One of those. There. Same there. So if we look underneath, I keep using the scroll wheel to try and rotate. So that looks like there's lots, that's quite nice. Over here we could put one this side, one this side. Yep. Ooh, lots of wiggly waggly. We're all going to be getting a bit of motion sickness of that. So I apologise. There's nothing there. We have a junction over here. In the middle, right, come on. And then this one over here is all okay. So that's good. We're going to try and work out this train up. This is what I've been saying. We're going to commit. We're going to be we're going to use a bit of conviction, and we're going to go for it. I think. Which one do I want to put it into? It'll be this square here. It was really going to be between these two where I really want it. So we have to just tuck it in at the top up here. So we'll take that one. Nothing else we can buy, I think. We need to think about, I need road layout, don't I? I'm going to use one of those because I want to use one of the metro stations next to it for all the metros to go through. I find the glass box one a bit difficult to use sometimes. Because I want everything running sort of this way. I think having the crisscrossy metro glass box in that. I mean, the glass box does look cool. It's difficult to know what I want to do sometimes. I think it's not just me who probably has this indecision nightmare sometimes, but yeah. So I'm going to use a toll. You can pop it up over here, and I will use this so I can set up nice straight edges. So we run the line straight down here. Okay, that don't need it anymore. We've now got our 90-degree angle, so we can then take this, shove them in over here. There we go. And then we can get our metro, what a multi-track raised metro. There you go. So here we'll come in just over here. Bit of angle right next to it. Let's have a look how that looks. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay, it's time to start getting the train lines in. And the metro line. So So I want them all to sort of merge together, and as they leave. I take a bit of like deleting and jiggling and to get them all to the right level and stuff. There we go. Yeah, so I'm having a bit of a rethink here. So we're using a bit of anarchy to get these train lines right next to each other. So it looks like they are all, I don't know, like when you see train line, like these quad tracks coming into stations, like they're all close. There's not too much gap in between them. So we're closing them in on each other. We probably need to put in some more cross tracks, but that would be a future issue. So just looking where I want them to go and trying to work out where I want each one of the tracks to connect up to or to move to. Hashtag save the rock. There you've got them all at the right level, so they all look nice and neat. Just move it around so they look like they fit nice and easy, not too sharp bends and stuff. There we go. Just got to keep them all matching the same height. While they are so close, they're sort of overlapping slightly, so if one goes above the other, then it's not going to work too well. So we're going to use the parallel building tool again that we used on the motorway. It's a useful tool, just to make sure it's set up correctly. We're still at the 2-lane motorway to start off with. And we'll come around over here, because I want these train lines to turn back to serve the other side of the city. So we do them over there, and we just move them over to the left a little bit, because as it is, the bridge is sort of clashing with the train lines still on ground level. So if they all move over. There we go. So it allows it to just have a bit of spacing, so the trains on the ground level can get through without smashing into that raised section. I know it's difficult to see because I'm flicking around far too much, but I'm trying to get the height right so that it's not crashing into the electric cables above it. There's a special name for them. I keep trying to remember. I want to say pantograph or something, but I think that's a bit on top of the train that connects to the wires. If you can tell, I'm not an expert. I mean, you can probably tell I'm an expert in pretty much nothing at this rate. This is going to come through here, and you can try and save this rock again. Just move them out of the way so we can come through and have a bit of something nice for people to look at as they come through on their morning commute in and out of the hub and stuff, or travelling on the metro. I like the look of this. It sort of reminds me at the moment of the approach to some of the stations in London that I use. Obviously, the ones in London have a lot more built up around them than this, because at the moment the station is just stuck out here in the middle of nowhere. But when we build the rest of the city, it'll be built up around it, and it'll be a nice central station in the middle of a big CBD district. Yeah, we'll just move it so this line's basically running up next to the, there we go, running up next to that line again, coming down through here, because I think that looks really nice that way. So we'll just do that again quickly. And then it'll come up and over here. We'll put a nice gentle ramp on it so the trains can get up there nice and easy. And then up and over, and we're just going to curve it round so we can join onto the rest in just a moment once I stop flicking this camera around all over the place. Just checking it's got the right height on it. Oh. If we start building this from the other end, it'll be easier because we can then just do there we go, got it now, and then just connect that onto there. Bit more bridge, nice gentle gradient. The trains will love that. Now we just need to do a train line coming from the other way, so passengers coming down from the old sort of Florence White Ball district can join in. Just use a bit of mover to straighten it round. That should be a perfect amount of clearance underneath that bridge for those trains to come through. And then you will just bring it over here and connect it up to the other line. Back over here at the main hub, I'm just trying to work out how to get these train lines to come through this way. So I deleted off what I originally put, and I just put these lines in so that they go past the edge of the metro station and then connecting it in. Otherwise, as it was, they were just going to come crashing straight into that metro station. Now it's just going to try and get this all nice and level. Again, work on the clearance, so it's clearing the train lines. There we go. The one trouble sometimes using that parallel builder tool is it doesn't always connect everything, like they just sort of overlap each other but don't connect into. There we go. Yeah, because there's another one where you can see the buffers on the train, and then another one you get buffers connected. But there we go, all sorted, I think. So that's ready for starting to build the area in Big Star. When we start doing that, it's all ready. It's time to just think about getting this metro line out of here finally. So what I'm thinking of doing is just running it parallel to the motorway on the other side of the train lines. Or maybe, well, first I thought I would try and get underneath here as a tunnel, keep it nice and straight. But there's a bit of it's difficult sometimes. When you have a cliff like this, you think it should be easy to go straight in, but with this game, like, it always needs like a piece to go in or to go down. So when you have like a cliff to go into, it's quite difficult sometimes to get it without messing up what's on top of the cliff or so. So yeah, as I say, it will come down here along the side of the motorway to just to simplify things, and then we'll just do a quick link like that. Now at first, as you saw, I tried doing it at ground level, but it just left that blue abyss. But now that I've gone for the raised section, I think that works quite nicely. Like, it's still connecting there, and you've still got the concrete support underneath, so it looks like it's being supported, but it's not leaving any blue abyss, and it's sort of cut in next to there. So we'll just work on getting that all at a nice even angle with the motorway. I think that looks quite cool. We'll put a little S-bend in here, and that's us got our escape for the metro. Just got to work out where it goes from here now, and the university's doing well. I had also mentioned that we needed to put this motorway on-ramp in here previously. Oh, flicky, 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 it is trying to snap to one or the other. Flicky, flicky, flicky again. But as we are in the mode of doing stuff that we said we'd be doing, we will just put a short ramp in down here. I'm not envisaging this being high usage. We might have to put some restrictions on it if it does get too busy. I just thought maybe we have a bus line or something coming down this way. Just setting it up so that that corner height is the same the whole way through the junction, so it doesn't get that weird sort of odd curving. I think that looks nice. It's a bit steep, but again, that does help you accelerate onto the motorway. I think it's looking nice and neat, nice and tight to that train line, fits in perfectly. So down the other side, I'd used a fence to box it in for a bit of safety. Here it is. And I can't quite remember what it is. I think it's the amusement park fence. To put a little bit in here to double check that's the correct one. And if we scroll around eventually, is this the right one? Yes, that looks like the right one. So we'll delete that and we'll just use the amusement park fence. And I'll just start putting it up over this way.
So I've given it a lot of thought about what to do with this train line here, well, the metro line, and what I've come up with is just connect it up, simple, straight up, as a temporary solution, because I'm going to put in stuff over here, up over here, so we'll have a connection through here. When it comes to the metro to the university, Well, that would take a bit more thinking when we get there. That's a problem for future me. Cool. Yeah, we might need to make that a bit more of an achievable angle for the poor trains. That will be a struggle. That's a bit better. But yeah, we'll sort that out when we get around to doing that. But for now we have the transport hub coming in. When we get a few more tunnels opening up, we will build this and it will all feel more integrated into the rest of the city and what I'm planning. Just going to continue this train line a bit further on up here.
So I just had to move the whole train line over fractionally to try and give it a bit of room. Because what I really want here is to have the train line go on top of a bit of a quay wall along the river. At the moment, there's not really much room in here. Maybe we'll try doing it this way, see if that works better. But yeah, what I want is like a nice narrow gap through here, and then have the train line running on a quay wall. Like when it's not on the earth bank here, now it does look like there's enough room for the river to flow through down there. We'll just fill in behind the train line here, just use a bit of the level terrain. There we go. And then when this is done, I'll try and put a quay wall on the other side of the train line and move it underneath so it's all resting on top of that quay wall. So here we go. All along here. It's just trying to get it, get it to match up with the shoreline. So you have to keep jiggling this all around to give it a bit of coastline and make sure there's enough water and stuff. I don't understand how it works all the time, but there we go, and there we go. Lovely, got it all. So then if I select all these nodes and then using move it, I can just gently, there we go, underneath. So we've got it nice. The train lines resting on the edge there, and we can just set it all to the same height. So we just select every node. So if we select all these nodes through here, train line and wall, set them all so they're all level. There we go, a bit of height. And then I do raise up the train line, I think, a little bit in a moment, so it just clears the top of the quay wall. So it's resting on top, so you can see the grey on the edge for the actual train line. There we go. So in the end, I lowered down the quay wall because they were easier nodes to grab than the train ones. I'll just try and remove this all back from the quay wall. Problem I did have was because of where I had it, I had the train line on the earth bank, so that was coming down on the far side of the quay wall. So I've now swapped it out to a raised section, which I think looks good. Like it's got like that nice fence that protects anyone who's walking along the top of the quay wall. There's a footpath there. Whoop. Now it's just a matter of just smoothing out the terrain on this side again. I stripped it all back from the other side so the river can flow through nicely. Got to be careful that it doesn't impede the flow through here too much, because it is quite narrow. And then I'd like this train line to continue over here between the rocks and heading out at the top. There's a couple of things I want to go this way. So I want to have a big airport up here, so I have some airport express trains, and I want to have another couple of stations as we're continuing through a few little villages sort of in the build. Again, I want to try and keep these rocks in one piece. I think they were always here, so it's a nice feature to keep, something for the trains to go past.
It is, people can walk between the two areas and stuff. But there we go, I think that's looking nice. All that needs to happen now is to hit the next level, unlock stuff and start really building the whole city up. Well, I say building the whole city, continuing with the massive construction. Anyway, we'll watch it down here as a few trains can pass. We'll do a little bit of an outro. So that'll do for this episode. There we go, there's a nice train running through there. The next episode we'll use that point and we'll put in a fun fair or theme park down there and start bringing in the tourists. Alright, until next time, ciao.